Hello everyone, I'm Crash. This is RTA Motorsports. You all know me as a sim racer, but recently I got to take my 2018 Camaro ZL1 on the racetrack at Thunderhill Raceway. I'm going to talk to you about it and show you some of the footage. Here we go.
Welcome to RTA Motorsports.
All right, so let's go over the car much like we do before we jump into sim. I'm just going to give you kind of a brief overview of the vehicle that we drove. So my 2018 Camaro ZL1 stock came with 650 horsepower, 650 pounds-feet of torque. I didn't really upgrade anything performance-wise majorly. It does have a cold air intake and it does have an axle back exhaust. But we did do some aero upgrades as well as wheel and tire packages. It's probably going to make the biggest difference. It does have a rear spoiler on there, kind of a raised up rear spoiler, similar to the 1LE model spoiler, as well as we have a chin, I guess you could say spoiler on the front, and a rear diffuser. I'm not really sure how those would perform or make a difference at all, but the biggest difference was we upgraded the wheels and tires. So we do have Apex Arc 8 wheels, and all around we are running 305 with tires. And really those are the Goodyear Eagle F1 Supercar 3R tires. Those are super sticky, especially when you get them up to temperature at the track. They perform really well. And as usual, before you go to a track day with these cars, you want to change out the brake fluid. So we are running the upgraded brake fluid recommended by GM. I'm going to be showing you sessions from our first 2 track days, not just the very first one. Reason being, the very first one we went out, I was in the Novice group. It was my very first track day. Unfortunately, I messed up, so some of the GoPro footage is extremely dark, as well as there was a lot of classroom time in between. I was nervous, very anxious, and I wasn't really able to, unfortunately, really get good footage at all, as well as there's a lot of heavy metal music playing in the background. Once I put on that helmet, I was in the zone, and I just didn't hear or notice anything that was going on. So we'll go into the first lap of my first track day. But besides that, both track days are running at the same track, same orientation. So Thunderhill Raceway has several different things you could be doing there. They do have a 3-mile circuit. They have a 2-mile circuit. They have a combined 5-mile circuit, as well as they have an autocross area, 2 skid pads that are normally housing drift events. It's absolutely insane, all the things that go on there. And sometimes some track days, it's all going on at the same time, which is absolutely awesome when you can go. My first track day was with On Grid. The second day was with Hooked on Driving. Both organizations are absolutely amazing. I highly recommend both of them. But again, the first one, we'll go into that first lap there. The second one, I do got to say, though, the ambient track temperatures the second day was 110 degrees outside. I'll go into what that means later on, but keep that in mind, 110 degrees when we go to that second one. And also the tracks themselves, we were both running at the Thunderhill 3-mile, but at turn 5, there was a difference. The first day we were running the bypass orientation, or the turn 5 was the turn 5A. And then the second day we were running the cyclone orientation, which is turn 5. And you'll see what that is like in just a little bit. I'll be popping in the bottom corner here just to kind of let you guys know what my thoughts are on what's going on while we're on the track. So, all right, so this is the very first track day. It was absolutely insane. Most of the sessions from this day worked just like this one here, where the gentleman in the Dodge Charger Hellcat in front of us lined up in front of us, and we would just work our way around him. You're going to see them both the track days here. You're going to notice people are pointing outside the car, and then we pass them. Until you're in the open top class, we have to wait for that point by before we're allowed to pass, and that's just a universal rule between both of them. So you'll see that I'm not allowed to pass until the driver acknowledges and tells me to do so. The driver in front of me was awesome, very nice guy. Been to this track before, and man, he was really pushing that Hellcat to the limit. So enjoy. Okay, so this is the second day and we are lining up behind this Porsche 911 GT3. Let's see how we do. Again, we're in the intermediate group and ambient temperatures this day hit 110 degrees. Oh man, it was a scorcher out there, but that did not take away from the fun.
Here we go. Here we go. Different orientation than what I remember. Last time we ran the bypass. Expecting a little bit more runway. Let off through there. He might be new to the track, learning the limits. This is only our out lap, you know. Yeah, I think he's learning. Very technical track.
right, so hopefully you enjoyed all that. Now, I do got to say there was a lot of things I came away with, and there was a lot of things I learned from these track days. One being that us sim racers do have a huge advantage, and it's not only because we're learning how to drive cars on a track or learning racing lines or things or how to overtake or anything like that. It's not that. It's our ability to develop racecraft on a daily basis. Now, there was a lot of things that I felt from the car that I feel in my rig all the time as far as understeer or oversteer. Especially, I have a 3 degrees of freedom motion rig here from ProSimU, and I was able to actually feel that traction loss was very similar to losing rear traction on my car whenever I was just really getting into a turn a little bit too hard, or if I was understeering, I kind of felt that wheel go limp or the car push, and I was able to account for that immediately. But really, the racecraft was probably the most important part of what we develop within our sim rigs that I was able to carry over onto the track. So I do got to say, it was really apparent. I was able to read situations as they were happening or before they were happening. I could see that someone was driving their car a little bit too hard or maybe over driving, and I was able to just back off a little bit, either take some of the pressure off of them or really avoid an incident where there was a few people that spun in front of me and I was already slowing down by that point. I saw it coming and it was already happening. A lot of drivers, when they're first on the track and they've never done anything like this before, they get that tunnel vision and they're not watching their mirrors and not watching what's going on around them. And sometimes they're not even watching the car in front of them. They're just looking at the next apex and they're forgetting that there is someone in front of them that could potentially make a mistake. So just the on-track awareness is something that we really develop as a sim racer, and we're practicing that muscle every time we're on the track. And that was really something that I was able to see. Also, knowledge of just, where to apex or certain racing lines or developing racing lines. Even when I'm new on the track, I was noticing some of the other drivers were kind of doing some things that were a little funky on the track, and I think it was just knowledge based. But being that we practice, how to turn in and open a turn on turn exit, I really think that was a good carryover and kind of helped my learning ability. So that way, the second session, we were able to move up to intermediate, and I was able to actually perform very well on track and very safely while on track. And so, yeah, as a sim racer, I do got to say, even though I never practiced this track in my sim rig, because Thunderhill's not in any of the sims, I do think there's a mod track out there for it. I do think that we do have a great advantage of knowledge of not only just drivability, but racecraft and how to troubleshoot certain situations and how to feel the car when there's potentially an issue. So everyone, hopefully you enjoyed that. I'm Crash's RTA Motorsports. Definitely subscribe, hit that like button. There's going to be obviously more track days coming. I'm hooked at this point, but on top of that, stay tuned for our live streams as well as races. We do have the HP Reverb G2 coming. I pre-ordered it on day one, so when that comes in, we're going to be doing a full review through the lens shots and everything there, as well as we are testing some new software for our motion rig if you're interested in that as well. So everyone, catch you all next time. Stay safe, stay happy. See you then.